We are back with Fish Unfiltered. It is March 25th, 2025. We are just 2 days away from opening day. My name is Azout, joined as always by Ely Sussman. And today we are joined by a very special guest, the President of Business Operations, Caroline O'Connor. Ms. Caroline, thank you so much for taking the time. I assume that this is as busy as your schedule can get this time of year, right?
Yeah, it's our peak season. Thanks for having me. I'm an avid listener.
Absolutely. Well, I guess we can just start with, for the fans that don't really know, what does the day-to-day operations for you look like on a day-to-day basis? What departments do you oversee? And just what does your schedule look like during the season and during the off season?
Yeah, it's very busy, but very interesting. So we handle all of the business departments, so everything related to revenue, ticket sales, sponsorship sales, special events, but also what I call the corporate center of the Marlins. So really being great partners to the baseball organization, making sure that they have everything they need from the perspective of facilities, offices, HR, legal, all those types of things go through our team. And so we try to provide great service to them and let them focus on the field and those important decisions that they make out there. But yeah, every day is a little bit different. And I say we're kind of like a small business. We have a lot of people that are good at many, many things, and we all pitch in and really have a very collaborative environment to, produce what we think is a great experience for our fans at baseball games and at special events, and really are really focused on getting the community into loanDepot Park for all kinds of different events, especially Marlins baseball.
For people that aren't familiar, Caroline, you've now been with the Marlins for about 7.5 years, ever since the ownership transition. You were new to South Florida when you came over. You were new to the professional sports world after previously being in banking. What I'm wondering is there anything about working for the Marlins that has been different than you thought it would be, just considering how much of a different field it is from what you were used to before that?
Yeah, it feels really odd to say, I'm entering my 8th season because it really did fly by, and every season's been a little bit different. And I said, I didn't know a ton about obviously working for a team when I came here, but I learned a lot, and a lot of that's the credit of the people that are here. So we have a lot of people with tons of knowledge about baseball, about business, and really that teamwork that, you always hear about in sports on the field, it exists in the offices as well. So, we have great teamwork across both baseball and business, which really helped me to learn both the sports side and the business side. And so, my job is overseeing it all is, to give people the resources they need, help them to make really important decisions. And right now we're really focused on growing our business. So getting everything that we need to maximize, loanDepot Park and maximize our attendance at Marlins games, create lots of reasons for people to come in and have a great experience with us. So yeah, 7.5 years. South Florida has been amazing, such great neighbors in the community that we live in. I can't speak highly enough about it, but it's been a wonderful place for me professionally, but also for my family.
You mentioned the importance of, maximizing attendance. I'm curious if you can touch on just the challenges on the business side of things to, for ticket sales in particular. In a year like this, where obviously a lot of the notable names are no longer in the organization, it's a year where it's more of a developmental year at the big league level. Just if you can touch on the difficulties in trying to sell tickets in a season like 2025.
I think we're really fortunate in our community here and how large the South Florida market is. There's a lot of diverse interests and a lot of great things that we offer at loanDepot Park. And I think people are excited about our players and the team that we're putting out. I think it's really exciting, especially as we start off the season, to get to know these new players. I've had the privilege of going to a lot of spring training games, so I've gotten to know the players, and I think there's a lot of exciting stories there that are going to start to play out through the season. But we have such a big community here, and I think it's an opportunity to find things that bring in different audiences, and audience that maybe never went to a baseball game and decide that, okay, they really like a baseball game because they came. So, you'll see us go out with a lot of theme nights to really make it a baseball game plus. We're excited about opening day, where we're doing our first on-field post-game concert. So we'll have Luis Fonsi and Flo Rida joining us after the game. So that's us really putting an investment into the fan experience and trying to put things out there and see, how our community reacts to them. Because ultimately we want people to come and have a great time when they're here.
So I guess it's fair to say you're more so prioritizing maybe the not diehard baseball fans, more so to the families and the ones who may not really care whether they win or lose, but just the ones that are going out for a good time out in Miami.
Well, I think our baseball avids will have a great time as well, right? So we have all our season ticket members who are very important, form our base, and so many of them have been Marlins fans from the beginning, right? And they're there for every pitch, and there are some of the most positive ones on the team, right? They come to every game, they come to all of our member events, they were out here at FanFest. So I think there, are a lot of people that are excited about the team that are very supportive of the team, and so we have great things for them, but also great things for people that might not have gone to a baseball game before and having their first experience. So we want them to have a great experience. We want everybody to come back.
Well, just after we started speaking with you, I saw another reminder about the partnership that the Marlins have with Brightline in terms of bringing more people from Broward and from Palm Beach. And you've been doing that for a few years now. So is the team actually seeing some results as best as you can track it in terms of people coming from outside of Miami-Dade to come to games? I think that is a pretty common thing that comes up from my experience in covering this community, is people saying that because the location of the ballpark, that it's just more difficult for even diehard fans due to traffic and due to the time to drive in and out, that some of those people haven't been able to come to games as consistently than they did during the earlier years of the franchise.
Yeah, we listen to the fan feedback and, take it pretty seriously when we do our planning. And the Brightline's been a great partner to us. So we've seen ridership increase every season, which is really great for us. We see it, I say, particularly heavily on the weekends. But Brightline's great Monday through Sunday. So that's been a great, partnership for us. We've also tried, to look at our game times and what are the best times for people to come. During the week, we've gone to that 6:40 game time, Monday through Thursday. So we think that is, helpful for fans that are either just coming from work or popping home and coming down. And then the weekends, we have Saturdays at 4:10 and Sundays at 1:40. Friday nights are at 7:10 to give people a little bit more time if they're, stopping home or something. But we try to take all that feedback and I think be considerate. We also have, a lot of people that are in walking distance or, short trolley ride distance. So I think we have a lot of options of how to get here. And what we're trying to do is communicate better all those options that are out there. So on days like opening day, we'll have a shuttle going from downtown parking garages. We'll have extra support over at our rideshare lots. And we'll also be really pushing that message about people getting prepaid parking. So they're guaranteed a spot in the garages and kind of get waved through the traffic and the police setups there. So trying to make that fan experience better every single day.
A massive piece of the Marlins revenue pie, as far as we could tell, is the local television rights that now with FanDuel Sports Network Florida, it's renamed a couple of times just since you've been around. Our understanding is that it's a relatively short-term deal moving forward. Of course, their parent company had bankruptcy issues. There have been a handful of other major league teams that were affiliated with that network that have since left and now have their games distributed through MLB.TV. Do you think that is the direction that the Marlins are going to eventually head in as well, where games are going to be distributed through MLB? And it just seems like a pretty seismic change considering how much the franchise historically has leaned on those TV rights revenue every year.
Yeah, I think the media is a rapidly changing industry, and we're a part of that. FanDuel has been great partners to us, and we work really closely on them, on the programming and the planning. This year, you're going to see them be very focused on the direct-to-consumer product, so where people can sign up and they can stream the games and watch them in the app. So you'll see a lot of advertising on that and really trying to get people aware of how they can access our Marlins games. So we, have a good team and a good partnership there. And our goal is to create a broadcast that, keeps our fans interested and engaged. I think we're very excited about, our new broadcaster this year and Kyle Seelaff. Sorry to lose him on the Marlins radio side. But they've been great partners to us. We do see, a future with them, but we'll be ready to do what we need to do to ensure that, our Marlins games can get to our fans.
Fish on First has partnered with About the Fans to launch a merchandise collection. Rep the FOF logo in more Marlins-inspired apparel. Find it all at aboutthefans.com. Enter coupon code FOF10 at checkout to get 10% off your order. FOF10 for a 10% discount.
Caroline, I'm curious. You mentioned all the departments that you oversee. I assume marketing is one of them. I'm curious your thoughts on the recent trend in the last few years of the Spanish influx, whether it's in the social media or at the ballpark. Just a lot of Spanish, and I'm curious your thoughts on it.
So I think we live in a very diverse community, and when you think of the Tri-County region, it becomes even more diverse. So we want to create as an experience that's inviting and fun for everyone, but we also want to, be a team that's in Miami and create, some of that local Miami flair. What we really want is to create an experience that's like no other. Right. So if you're coming to Miami, you have to see a baseball game in loanDepot Park. The experience is different than anywhere else. So we mix a little bit of the traditional with some, newer engagements and flavors. I like that picture that you're showing there. But really, we want to create an inclusive experience that everyone can enjoy.
Yeah, that's understood. But do you think that maybe you'd be turning off as many people as you guys are attempting to turn on with that? I guess with that diverseness?
I think it's an important balance. I think that, when we try to play up what is a special culture about, the city of Miami and the reputation of the city of Miami, we, pay tribute to some of those things. But no, we do take the feedback from the fans and talk to, our longtime season ticket members. We want to strike the right balance so that everybody loves coming to Marlins games.
We definitely wanted to have you on to get us up to speed on Miami Live. We're now a couple months into the original announcement about that development on the plaza. It was exciting, but a little bit vague in terms of exactly what this is going to look like and how if it's going to expand the footprint of the ballpark in any way. So the announcement was in January. I know the original target date was early 2026. So when is some sort of visible construction going to begin on that in order to actually have it ready by that ambitious target date?
Yeah, so we're doing a lot of background work right now. So it's plans, it's working on permits and things like that. So over the summer, you'll start to see, the construction site go up. And yeah, we're hoping to have it open by World Baseball Classic in 2026. So that's an early March timeframe there. And so it's going to be, bar and restaurant, concert stage that will enhance the fan experience both before and after our games, but also on non-game days. So we've partnered with, an industry leader in creating these sports adjacent experiences, and that's the Cordish companies. And really what we loved about them is that they're very good at programming. So, you could have a Tuesday night in the fall, and they're going to be having a yoga class outside or a Zumba class. So really create an experience and enhance the reasons for the community to come to the ballpark. And so we're excited about that part of it. So we really want to create a thriving, 365-day a year ecosystem around our park because, it's a beautiful place and we have a great community here. And, we want to continue to outreach and welcome the community in.
Right. And just to clarify, this whole project is going to be contained within the existing loanDepot Park property, or is there going to be any sort of branching out to across the street and the blocks surrounding it?
Yeah, it's definitely possible that it's a catalyst for bigger things, and I think that would make us really happy. As of now, the Miami Live will be, on our West Plaza there, which is actually, a large 3-acre site. So there's a lot of room out there. I think, the renderings maybe don't do it justice, but I think it'll be a great place for people to congregate. And we have some of our bigger heritage nights, and we have concerts out there. I mean, we will have 5,000 and 6,000 people out on that plaza. So we want to continue to have that and making sure that the programming fits and all of our fans still fit because we want it to be enhancing of the experience.
Mm-hmm. Even now, but even without this, you have, as you've already referenced, there have been plenty of non-baseball events at the ballpark through the years. Is there anyone that you take the most pride in or that you just had the most fun at attending? So even though WBC aside, other international baseball aside, just the non-baseball events, what do you take pride in having brought to the ballpark in terms of bringing in new audiences or new revenue over the years?
Yeah, so we've done a number of great concerts and special events. I'd say the ones that are really meaningful for us, or when we invite our community in. So one that's been a mainstay for us has been the American Cancer Society walk each year. And that's a special one for us because, we get together with our elected officials, a really important cause. And, we fill our plaza, we fill our ballpark with people coming out really to make an impact in that. And so that's a really special one for us. We'll continue, to push into the concert space. We'll have some exciting announcements coming up soon. And then, as you know, we'll have the NHL Winter Classic coming up January 2nd. So that's going to be another really exciting one for us. But, we've done some great enhancements to the ballpark since being here, our turf field, our lighting system. We've done a lot to really attract major events to coming to the building. And so we're starting to, see some of that come to fruition in, the enhancements we've made. And then our team doing a great job on the communication and sales side to be bringing in some more special events.
You mentioned there's an exhibition game happening in exactly 30 minutes. I'm curious, a Marlins-Yankees game is probably going to have a pretty decent turnout. I'm curious if that's the plan going forward after spring training, in between the final Grapefruit League game and opening day. Is that something that you guys see happening more often in upcoming years?
I think what you'll see is us experimenting with things, and I'd say this is what this is. We wanted to bring this and see how the fans reacted to it. We think it's a great opportunity for us to have a soft open to the building, test out the concessions, test out the parking, everything, which is really good for us. But I think it's going to be very successful today. And we want to invite the fans in early, want them to come early in the season, then want to come back for Marlins games. So we think more programming we can put in the building and things that appeal to our fans are really good for us. So open to your suggestions, Isaac. But we're taking a lot of notes today, and would certainly look to have one again.
Right. One other thing I had to be sure to squeeze in here, you guys kept it under wraps pretty well. This rebrand of there we go, the Norwegian Cruise Line Home Run Harbor that seems to be replacing AutoNation Alley out in left center field. We've gotten some little details about what that is. Can you get us up to speed in terms of how that came together and if there's...
Yes, I heard Andy scooped us on that this morning. But no, we're really excited. Norwegian Cruise Line has been such a good partner to us, and they've been with us for a few years now. We're really excited to be expanding that partnership to include the Home Run Harbor, which does sit on top of that alley there. So I think it's going to be a really special feature. More details coming out here in the next few days about it, but really to showcase what's a really strong partnership between NCL and the Miami Marlins, but also to create something very special for our fan experience.
Right. Well, Caroline, 2 days before opening day, we really appreciate you taking the time to join us here today. We'll hope to do this again maybe next year, but nevertheless, thank you so much for taking the time.
Yeah, thanks, guys. See you soon.
Absolutely. For Eli, for Caroline, for myself, thank you for listening. And as always, go fish.